introduce myself. My name is Henry George. I've met many of you that are here, from previous meetings. I'm originally from the Cook Islands. If you don't know where that is, just Google it, you'll find it. We're not too far from New Zealand. We're just below Hawaii from the equator. Population on the island is about 12,000 people. English, we do speak English. We are New Zealand citizens, but we are a governing country. We do have our own prime minister. But anyway, how did I end up in the United States? That's a long story. You can invite me to dinner at your house. And I'll tell you.
You cook?
Yes, and I can cook for you too.
Okay, that works.
Yes. My
And
specialty,
sing and dance.
My specialty is huli chicken. So yeah, you like chicken. Anyway, so real quick, my journey with the Iteracare is my pastor. He's a little Filipino man. Love him dearly. I've known him for about a year, and he 2 years, maybe about 3 now, had a stroke. People who have a stroke and heart attack, the side, hands curl up. Literally, this part comes down here. And I've always known Pastor for that. When he's preaching, he's dragging himself, and he's got the microphone, right? And a week later, he invites me for lunch. We went out to lunch, and I see him get out of his car, right? And he's closing the door, and I'm looking at him, and he's walking naturally, and he sees me, and he goes, "Hey, brother," with his hand. And I was like, whoa. And I thought to myself, what a miracle, did Jesus heal you? But it's more than that too. I mean, the Lord provided an opportunity in a sense of the device, the technology. I'm not a conspiracist, this technology has been known, but it was tucked away. I won't mention yeah. But anyway, yes, Pastor, I said to Pastor, how did this happen? He goes, you want to know? And I said, yes. Okay, you need to meet this woman. Her name is Eileen. Many of you have met Eileen. What a special gift for us. I'm telling you, she's just an amazing lady. Big heart. And then introduced to Sunny, meeting Sunny, then Sunny to everybody that's in this group. That was my whole journey. I don't have that much health issues except for edema, where water's retained in your feet, right? And my legs, my feet look like ripe tomatoes, right? It's like you can poke a needle and it'll explode, nice and shiny, right? Some of you are laughing. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about, right? I have to say, wanding. Ever since I've been wanding, I noticed that everything's starting to shrink. Now I can see my ankles instead of cankles.
And those.
Yes. And when you lift your toes, is that what ligaments? Is that what it's called? Whatever that called is. Any doctors? That's it. But anyway, now I can see that too. Whereas before I used to push, right? You push into it, and it makes like an indent, like a hole. I could roll a ping pong ball and it'll fall right in. That's how bad it was. But here's the crazy part. When you drink the water, the smell, when you pee, the smell, you can that's probably all that stuff that's been floating in your feet. But that's my only testimony. And the big one was my pastor. I said, Pastor, I don't care how much it costs. I want to get one. Just go and see Eileen. Met with Eileen, and that's when my journey, for my health. Since 2010, I don't take any medication. Never, ever, since 2010. After, learning about holistic medicines, certain leaves, natural stuff that God, provided on this earth. My parents, my dad is we call it a dogma in medicine. He's a natural herbalist, medicine. He's learned this for a very long time, and in the islands, a lot of people would see him for certain medicines, and he would say, "Get this plant, this flower, this root, bring it here, I'll mix it for you, yada, yada, and go, drink it. That's what he did. And so I've always been interested in medicinal medicines. But then with introduction into this technology, I was like, wow. So ever since then, November of last year, and I've just been doing meat, right? But never, I've shared it with some people, but I never thought of the business side because I promised my wife I will never, ever, ever all these network marketing programs. But I have to say, now, when opportunities, that's involved with network marketing, I've noticed they got the best products. They have the best product. And I met a lady in Oahu, Honolulu, through Nanu. Some of you saw her testimony on the previous Zoom call. I know
Oh, please.
but anyway, when I met her in Oahu, Lanu called me because she's like, brother, I need 10 machines. And this is a Saturday evening. I need them by Monday. And I'm like, UPS ain't open tomorrow. It's Sunday. So she's like, I need it really bad because I have this meeting with all these women because they're blown away with her testimony, right? Her testimony alone is amazing too, right? So I offered my service. I said, sister, I'll jump on the plane and deliver it to you. Who wouldn't, right? Go to Hawaii.
Right.
The plan was to go for 2 days. And that's when I checked with my CEO, my wife. She said, okay, how many days are you going? 2 days, tops, maybe 3. Okay, so I get there, and Sister Lanu's like, brother, can you stay 2 more days? And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna check with the CEO. So I did, she cleared it, and I think that's where my journey really, really begun in being really serious about this opportunity. Since November, I've just been sharing it, but never looked at it in a sense of this company really does take care of you as a distributor. Very generous. When you understand the compensation plan and when you understand just what they do, it's like it's everything about giving to you, and that will motivate me to sell more, right? But anyway, this lady here, Sylvia Waiwaiole, she got into an accident really bad, and then Lanu, because of her testimony, her testimony was neuropathy. She couldn't feel her feet, cannot feel, no feeling. They had to cut one of her toes. But using the product for like 15 minutes, she couldn't believe she could feel her feet. She started walking. The next day she did errands. And then the next day she drove herself. She hasn't driven the car for like 7 years. She drove to her friend's house, who's in her late 70s. No, sorry, late 80s, 89 years old. But anyway, Sylvia is one of 9 women in the world that's given an award for the top sales in network marketing. Yeah, she hit 1 million 3 times. And when she used the product, she couldn't believe how quick it was. But what's amazing about her, her story is in this book. Many of you that I know in this group are doing the business. I would highly recommend that you read her life story. It will change your whole mind on business. It will change your whole mind on you as an individual. I mean, it's on Amazon, so you can go on Amazon.
Please read the title and
The title is Chasing Success: How Wealth Exposed My Deep Poverty. The story is amazing. It's amazing only because I was surrounded by 12 women, right? I don't know what it is, but somehow I always get surrounded by women. Yeah? And
must be a tough life.
yeah. Yes. And so I shared my testimony before I started wanting the ladies. And she heard a statement that I made. I've been chasing after money, chasing after money. It should be the other way around. So it should be just do good things to mankind, our neighbors, yeah. The money will follow. And ever since I've been following these principles, I'm seeing change in my own life, right? In my finances too. I'm not the greatest CPA or in my own business. I'm horrible at that, but I've come to a place where her testimony can help us on our journey in business, and of course life, because you have to read her story to understand what I'm going through, and so many of us have seen this, right? These slides. What blows me away is that these are iconic people. It validates exactly what we're sharing. We had a nice, I call it a Tupperware party, but I think that's the new trend.
The wanding party.
The wanding party, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we haven't, we're still, playing with names for the party, but those parties, like for me, what got me more excited is that trip to Hawaii. That was the thing, because the first party, there was 5 women there, all products sold. The products were sold. We had 12. We ran out of product. Good thing Renee lives in Oahu, and I'm thinking, wait, Renee's here. She might have some product. So I called her, and she's like, where are you at? I'm at Enchanted Lake. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm just around the corner. So she drops off the products. The women were happy, and I would say 12 of them, the next day calls Lanu, I want to order 2. I want to order 3. The word just took off, And so, isn't that exciting that this is good news that we're experiencing? We all have our own testimonies of people that we love and people that we know, friends that are getting their life back. And so that's one of my missions. It's funny that what Auli'i said was that she's in the same boat. I'm neglecting my business and doing Iteracare. I'm putting more of my time in Iteracare than my actual business.
Yeah.
And so I gotta check on that. Check on that business. But that's how because again, what she said in the book, what Sylvia said in the book, you have to have a belief. You have to really believe in your product. With that belief, it's people are going to be what do you call
Connected.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sorry, I'm
No,
blabbing
you
away.
don't have to say sorry.
I'm sorry because I'm one of those people, I don't like following what the format of the program is. I get carried away. But yes, you wait to.
Your physique, you've changed.
Thank you.
Also,
Oh, that's another
amazing,
thing.
yeah.
And I never knew this. How many of you knew that you can lose weight using the machine?
No, and I don't want to lose it. I'm at my bottom line.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. It really is. Because you're right. I would say I was about 300 pounds. Right. This was November. Yeah, November. 305, right? Today I'm at 272. 272. But here's what's crazy. I'm thinking to myself, how? But never realized, right? So I won my love handles. Yeah, men, about the love handles. I won here a lot,
Okay.
right? On the side, a lot, and of course here. And then Auli'i goes, brother, did you know that they have a protocol, right, for losing weight? And I said, where? And she's like, right here, the spleen. And I thought, that makes sense why I am who you see today. Is because I've been focusing on the spleen area.
And I encourage you to change the words of losing to releasing. Releasing. Because you want to find your keys when you lose them, but you do not want to find your weight again. So you are releasing it to the universe and leaving it there.
Looks right. Yes.
You just got a coaching moment for free. I am for hire.
No, but I feel good. I feel great.
Okay, good.
I do. And my family is drinking a lot of
How about
water.
your dad? Parkinson's.
What's that?
Parkinson's, Papa.
Papa, yeah, he does, with the head, the hands.
Oh.
I can see that anymore. Yeah.
He went back to work.
Uncle Joe, your dad's hair,
Turning black.
turning black,
And
he's
it's
got
growing
silver
more
hair. Silver hair turning black. I'm still working on
His
mine.
hands down.
His hands, oh my God, yeah. But anyway, that's, if you don't mind, I think the testimony maybe instead of everybody. Is there anyone that has a testimony that want to come up? Anyone want to share a testimony? Yes, yes. Please.
Hi everyone, I'm the new person that's looking for a driving position. I recently lost mine. She's driving herself in her own car now, so I am available. My name is Louis, and I am Judy's husband. And there's a couple things that she failed to share with you. One of them is Judy probably has one of the biggest collection of flip-flop shoes. Probably 60 to 70 pairs. I mean, it's like some people collect jewelry, some people collect
I
socks.
collect that too.
Well, she collects flip-flops. And at the height of her neuropathy and everything, she couldn't wear flip-flops. She would lose her balance. Her foot would slide off to the side. She didn't know that she wasn't on her shoe, and she could fall. She's wearing flip-flops again. I hope you never have to deal with a loved one that you can't help. When we were in Utah, watching her cry, watching her scream on the floor, there was no med that could touch the MS team. Nothing. We had chiropractors come to the house. We had people from the LDS religion come and give her blessings.
And I'm Jewish.
I will do anything, I tell you.
And like she said, when she came down and said, I'm going to buy this thing, I'm thinking, okay, which closet is it going into? Because we have a plethora of things that she's tried to make herself healthy. So it's been an incredible journey, and it's a journey that is just starting, and that road is going a long ways. Yes.
Would you share your story about your eye? I caught that on your testimonial.
I was going to segue right into that.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So, I'm sitting in my optometrist's office.
Tell him how it happened in the
Okay,
beginning.
well, my left eye, I was a police officer in the city of Glendale. I rode a motorcycle. I was the one that had the real nice white helmet, the real nice flashy lights that you didn't want to see behind you, especially in the on position. But on the way to work one morning, about 5:30 in the morning, it's still dark. I'm on my way in. There had been a bad accident on the freeway. I'm doing 65, 70 miles an hour. The truck in front of me kicks up a piece of flare, hits me square in the left eye. I hold on to the handlebars. I go forward so it doesn't knock me off the bike. I go forward. I drive off to the side. I put my I'm wearing a tan glove. I wore my gloves. I didn't wear my protective eye protection that morning. I put my hand up. My nice tan glove is now a bright red from all the blood that is in my eye and coming out. Being that I am not someone to call for help, I make my way to the police station in behind. I park my motorcycle. One of my guys coming in for briefing. I wave him over, and I can see him shaking his head like, God, we haven't started yet. What does he want from me now? Well, he comes up, and it's like, have you ever seen those cartoons where the eyes bug out of someone's head?
Yeah.
He saw me, and he saw the blood coming down my face, and it was like, what happened to you? So I get transported to the hospital. I have a bad So I go through therapy and blah, 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 and says, well, the impact energy went through the eye, rebounded out, and it caused scarring behind the retina. So when I look out of my left eye, it's kind of like when you swim and you go underwater and you don't have goggles on, you can kind of see, but it's distorted. That's what it's like when I look out of my left eye. That is directly straight on. If I look a little bit off to the center, things come into focus. So my left eye is 20/40. So the optometrist walks in and he says, he's shaking his head. And Dr. Todd is not usually one to get confused about things. And he goes, I don't get it. I can't explain it. I don't get it. I said, what don't you get? He says, Judy's eyes haven't changed, but she's reading. She's reading stuff that she shouldn't be able to read. And he says, okay, well, let's look at you. Well, from day one going to him, he takes a scan of my eye every day, every year, and I ask, is there any technology to reverse the scarring and to eliminate it? No, nothing's caught up with it yet, maybe someday. All of a sudden, he looks at me, he looks back at the scan, he's looking side to side, he's pointing. I said, what's wrong? He says, your left eye has got better. The scarring isn't as bad as it was a year ago. He has never, ever said that to me. So, am I wanting my eyes? You bet your sweet bippy I am. And I want them in the infinity sign. And all I can say is, it's been since 1997 that this happened. And I didn't have to come off the bike. I went back to work and I finally retired in 2007. So as of this year, I'll be retired 16 years. If anyone's keep doing that.
And the weight loss.
And at one point, I think I was about 272, I was 75 pounds. I was the epitome of a good motorcycle officer.
And he married me.
And they say that cops eat donuts. Well, I'm telling you right now, they don't. They eat power biscuits. That's what those are. They are power biscuits. So whenever you see a donut stand, just think of it, and that's a power biscuit. So, donuts are good for you. So, any questions?